When we ask why immunity is weak, most people immediately think of viruses, pollution, or bad luck. But if we are honest, truly honest, the first place we must look is our lifestyle. The immune system does not suddenly collapse. It responds, very precisely, to how we live each day. Think about sleep. The body repairs itself while we rest. Immune cells regenerate, inflammatory processes reset, hormonal balance is restored. Yet many people sacrifice sleep for entertainment, work pressure, or endless scrolling. When you consistently sleep 5 or 6 hours instead of 7 to 8, you are not just a little tired. You are biologically reducing your body's ability to defend itself. Chronic sleep deprivation lowers natural killer cell activity, the very cells responsible for fighting infections. This is not theory, it is physiology. Now consider diet. Highly processed foods, excess sugar, refined oils. These are not neutral choices. They create chronic, low-grade inflammation inside the body. Inflammation is useful in short bursts, but when it becomes constant, the immune system becomes confused and overworked. It starts reacting to everything while failing to respond effectively to real threats. We often treat food as convenience or comfort, but every bite is a biological instruction to the immune system. Physical inactivity adds another layer. The human body was designed for movement. Moderate exercise enhances circulation, allowing immune cells to move efficiently throughout the body. A sedentary lifestyle slows this circulation, weakens metabolic health, and increases susceptibility to disease. Movement is not about aesthetics, it is about biological competence. And then there is screen time and overstimulation. Constant digital exposure disrupts circadian rhythms, fragments attention, and subtly elevates stress hormones. We may feel entertained, but physiologically we are in a mild state of alert. Over time, this drains resilience. What makes this deeper than just health advice is the philosophical dimension. Weak immunity is often a reflection of misaligned priorities. We say health matters, yet our daily behaviors suggest otherwise. The immune system listens to actions, not intentions. If we truly want stronger immunity, we must first strengthen discipline. Because in the end, immunity is not weakened by chance, it is weakened by choices. If lifestyle is the visible layer of weak immunity, stress is the invisible one. And in many cases, it is the more powerful force. Because you can eat well, you can exercise, you can sleep reasonably. But if you live in a constant state of psychological pressure, your immune system will still suffer. Stress is not just an emotion. It is a biological event. The moment your brain perceives threat, whether it is financial worry, relationship conflict, career uncertainty, or even constant comparison on social media, your body activates a survival response. Cortisol and adrenaline rise, heart rate increases. Blood flow shifts away from long-term repair systems toward immediate survival mechanisms. In short bursts, this is protective. But when stress becomes chronic, the immune system pays the price. It reduces lymphocyte activity, weakens antibody responses, and increases systemic inflammation. The body becomes simultaneously inflamed and immunocompromised, a dangerous paradox. You may notice more frequent colds, slower recovery, unexplained fatigue. These are not random events. They are signals, but there is a deeper layer here. Modern stress is rarely about physical survival. It is psychological. We are overwhelmed not by predators, but by expectations, the pressure to succeed, to appear perfect, to constantly achieve. The mind is always racing ahead or replaying the past. The body, however, lives in the present. And when the mind remains in a state of perceived threat, the body never receives the signal that it is safe. Safety is essential for immunity. When you feel secure, grounded, and emotionally stable, the parasympathetic nervous system activates. This is the rest and repair mode where immune optimization occurs. Without psychological safety, physical strength declines. This is why emotional regulation is not weakness. It is biological intelligence. Practices like mindfulness, breath control, meaningful social connection, and clear boundaries are not luxuries. They are immune support strategies. If we ignore our mental health, we silently weaken our physical defenses. Because in the end, the immune system does not separate the mind from the body. If your thoughts are constantly under attack, your cells will eventually follow. Now, even if we correct our lifestyle and begin managing stress, there is another fundamental factor we must confront: nutrient deficiency. The immune system is not powered by motivation. It is powered by biology. And biology requires raw materials. Every immune response, the production of white blood cells, antibodies, signaling molecules, depends on vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and healthy fats. Without these building blocks, the system cannot function optimally. No matter how determined you are, take vitamin D, for example. It is not just a vitamin. It functions more like a hormone, regulating immune cell activity and inflammation. Low levels are strongly associated with increased susceptibility to infections. Yet many people spend most of their time indoors, disconnected from natural sunlight. It is not weakness of character. It is misalignment with physiology. Vitamin C and zinc play critical roles in supporting immune cell production and protecting against oxidative stress. Protein provides the amino acids necessary to build antibodies and immune mediators. Iron supports oxygen transport and immune cell proliferation. When diets are dominated by ultra-processed foods, high in calories but low in micronutrients, we create a paradox of overfed yet undernourished bodies. This is where the philosophical dimension becomes clear. Modern culture prioritizes convenience over nourishment. We chase taste, speed, and comfort, often ignoring the biological consequences. But the immune system does not respond to branding or marketing. It responds to micronutrient density. And deficiency is not always dramatic. It can be subtle: low-grade fatigue, poor recovery, frequent minor infections. We normalize these symptoms, assuming they are part of modern life. In reality, they may be signs of nutritional gaps silently limiting our immune resilience. The solution is not extreme dieting or obsession. It is intentional nourishment, whole foods, adequate protein, diverse fruits and vegetables, healthy fats, when necessary, evidence-based supplementation, guided by proper assessment, because at its core, immunity reflects preparation. You cannot build strong defenses without supplying the right materials. The body is remarkably intelligent, but it cannot create strength from absence. If you want a resilient immune system, you must first respect the biological laws that sustain it. Nourish deeply or accept the consequences of neglect. Finally, we come to a factor that many people underestimate, yet it may be one of the most influential: gut health. When we talk about immunity, most imagine white blood cells circulating in the bloodstream, but nearly 70% of immune activity is rooted in the gut. This is not accidental. The digestive system is the body's primary interface with the external world. Everything we eat, drink, and ingest passes through it. The immune system stands guard there first. Inside the gut lives a vast ecosystem of microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, fungi, collectively known as the microbiome. When this ecosystem is balanced, it acts as a powerful ally. Beneficial bacteria help regulate inflammation, support the intestinal barrier, and communicate directly with immune cells. They even influence mood and stress responses through the gut-brain axis. In many ways, the gut is not just a digestive organ. It is an intelligence center. But modern habits disrupt this balance. Highly processed foods, excessive sugar, frequent antibiotic use, chronic stress, and low-fiber intake damage microbial diversity. The intestinal lining can become more permeable, allowing inflammatory particles to enter the bloodstream. The immune system, constantly exposed to these signals, becomes either hyperreactive or exhausted. This is how imbalance begins. What makes this especially profound is the philosophical layer. We often think of strength as something external: muscles, stamina, visible resilience. Yet, immune strength begins in an invisible internal environment. If the internal ecosystem is chaotic, the outer defenses weaken. Order within creates strength without. Restoring gut health is not complicated, but it requires awareness. Fiber-rich vegetables, fermented foods, adequate hydration, reduced processed sugars. These are simple actions with profound biological consequences. Supporting digestive health is not a trend. It is a return to physiological harmony, and perhaps this is the deeper lesson in the entire discussion. Immunity is not a pill, not a shortcut, not a quick fix. It is the result of daily alignment. Lifestyle, stress regulation, nourishment, and internal balance working together. If you truly want a strong immune system, begin by strengthening your internal environment, because the quality of your health will always reflect the quality of what you cultivate within.